Stone is time made visible, shaped by human hands and trusted to last beyond a single life. Mayan architecture grows from this belief. Its buildings rise as strong, step forms, rooted deeply in the land beneath them. Thick walls carry weight and purpose, while repeating stone blocks create rhythm, shadow, and texture. These patterns work like woven fabric in stone, joining structure and surface into a quiet, unified language. This architecture is not about appearance, but about continuity, an idea that returns centuries later in Frank Lloyd Wright's Textile block work, where ancient thinking is reimagined in modern form at the Ennis House. The Ennis House stands as the crowning achievement of Frank Lloyd Wright's bold experiment with the textile block system. Completed in 1924, it is the largest of his Los Angeles block houses, built from more than 24,000 patterned concrete units. Wright sought to transform concrete, the cheapest and ugliest thing in the building world, as he once called it, into a material of beauty. Each block was hand-cast from sand, gravel, and granite taken from the site, then imprinted with geometric motifs inspired by pre-Columbian art. The repetition of these modular forms created walls, floors, and ceilings that were at once structural and ornamental, weaving light and shadow across their surfaces. For Wright, the textile block system was more than construction, it was philosophy. He envisioned an architecture that could be produced locally, assembled simply, and made affordable without losing artistry. In the Ennis House, these ideals reach their fullest expression, a structure that feels both ancient and modern, monumental and handmade. Over the decades, the house's distinctive blocks have fascinated not only architects but also filmmakers. Their sculptural quality has served as a backdrop for more than 60 productions, from science fiction to fashion photography. In cinema, as in life, the blocks evoke mystery and permanence, their patterns recalling temples and time-worn ruins. Today, the Ennis House remains a lesson in Wright's pursuit of organic architecture, a building in which material geometry and landscape converge into something timeless. High on the hillside of Los Feliz, above the city of Los Angeles, the Ennis House overlooks the basin like a quiet fortress. Rising from a massive retaining wall of patterned concrete blocks, the house emerges from the slope as both shelter and monument, watching quietly over the city below. Seen from above, the Ennis House reveals a powerful form anchored to the hillside. Volumes step outward like ancient platforms, while walls press firmly into the earth. From this height, its scale and intent become unmistakable. The house is not placed on the land. It is grown from it, aligned with the vast basin of Los Angeles stretching beneath. As the camera circles overhead, a striking contrast comes into view. On one side, a dense geometric mass, solid, heavy, protective. On the other hand, terraces and gardens open outward, inviting air and light into the structure. This balance between weight and openness lies at the heart of Frank Lloyd Wright's vision. Architecture as both refuge and release. This perspective also reveals the house's cinematic strength, its ability to guide movement, shape shadow, and create drama. Over time, the Ennis House has become a cultural landmark, appearing in more than 60 films, television shows, and music videos. It has stood in for futuristic laboratories, grand private homes, and imagined worlds. Its sculptural forms carry both mystery and scale. Through these images, the house has become inseparable from Los Angeles itself, endlessly reshaped by story and light. In this elevated presence, the Ennis House feels timeless, like a stage prepared for story and drama. Its strong geometry, heavy mass, and elevated position give it a presence beyond architecture alone. Here, Wright's ambition becomes clear: a modern monument shaped by the land, rooted in the hillside, yet standing apart from it, part of Los Angeles and quietly watching over the city as it unfolds below. From the beginning, Wright intended it to stand as a landmark, an architecture rooted in the hillside yet inseparable from the city below. Los Angeles was fertile ground for Wright's textile block experiments. In the 1920s, as the city grew rapidly, Wright built 4 such homes across the region, each echoing the rhythms of Mesoamerican temples. Among them, the Ennis House was the largest and most ambitious. Here, he pushed the block system to its limits, envisioning a design that was not only a private residence, but also a statement of what architecture could become. The relationship between the house and the city has always been layered. For residents, the terraces and loggias open to sweeping panoramas of Los Angeles, dissolving boundaries between private retreat and urban spectacle. In the end, the Ennis House stands as both an architectural marvel and an icon. It is a lesson in space for scholars, a canvas for filmmakers, and a vantage point for anyone who has walked its terraces and looked out across Los Angeles. Wright predicted it would endure for centuries, drawing visitors from around the world. Today, it remains a dialogue between building and city, each shaping the identity of the other. Approaching the Ennis House, one is immediately struck by the monumental presence of its facades. Rising from the Los Feliz hillside, the house appears both fortress and temple, but its elevations are defined by rhythmic patterns of concrete textile blocks inspired by Mayan architecture. Each block carries a geometric motif, creating walls that are not merely structural, but ornamental tapestries of light and shadow. The elevations emphasize horizontality. Long lines of blockwork stretch across the hillside, anchoring the house while echoing the vast expanse of the Los Angeles basin below. Yet within this broad composition, Wright introduced subtle variation. Walls that lean slightly back, trapezoidal corners, and elevations that step with the slope. These details animate the surfaces, giving the building both weight and motion. Stained glass windows punctuate the facades, their wisteria-inspired colors of gold, green, blue, and violet shimmering against the stone-like concrete. They were Wright's last art glass windows for a residence, turning the exterior into a living canvas, where sunlight paints patterns across the interior. From a distance, the facades appear immovable and eternal, yet up close, their material tells a different story. Cast from decomposed granite taken from the site, the blocks carried natural impurities that over time succumb to cracking and decay. Earthquakes and weather have tested the structure, reminding us that even monumental visions require care and renewal. The elevations of the Ennis House are more than architecture. They are symbols of Wright's ambition to create a modern monument, one that feels timeless and inseparable from the landscape it commands. The approach to the Ennis House begins at its ornamented front gate, a threshold that feels almost mythical. Wright designed this entrance to be more than functional. It is a moment of transition where the outside world falls away and architecture begins to command the senses. The gates, marked by Mayan-inspired motifs, stand as both invitation and barrier, preparing visitors for the drama that unfolds within. Every guest, whether on foot or by car, shares the same ritual of anticipation, moving through narrowing paths enclosed by patterned blocks that gather light and shadow before the house finally reveals itself. To arrive at the Ennis House is to pass through layers of architecture that heighten expectation, transforming even the simplest act of arrival into part of Wright's grand design. Beyond the motor court, the architecture extends into the garage wing, detached yet carefully integrated with the primary residence. Above it, the chauffeur's quarters provided living space complete with a bedroom, bath, kitchenette, and sitting room. Together, this arrangement reflects Wright's philosophy of respect for all who lived and worked within the household, weaving utility and dignity into the fabric of the design. Spanning the motor court, a suspended bridge connects the primary residence to the garage wing and staff quarters. What might have been a simple passage becomes an architectural gesture of elegance and drama. The bridge endures as both symbol and experience, a quiet expression of Wright's belief that architecture is not merely built, but felt through movement, connection, and time. The entrance to the Ennis House is as much a work of theater as it is a point of arrival. Like many of Wright's designs, it is deliberately obscure, hidden from plain sight, forcing visitors to explore the exterior before they discover the way inside. What begins as a search soon becomes part of the experience, drawing guests into a slow journey of mystery, anticipation, and quiet architectural revelation. The entrance lobby of the Ennis House is a carefully staged prelude to the drama of the living room. True to Wright's philosophy of compression and release, it begins in shadow and intimacy, guiding the visitor toward the promise of light and space beyond. As one climbs, glimpses of light appear above, heightening anticipation with every step. A turn, then another, and finally the passage releases into the soaring expanse of the great room. The transition is theatrical, an unfolding of architecture that turns arrival into an experience of revelation. A Maya-inspired grille at the top of the stairs, shadows cast by the patterned blocks, and the rhythm of the narrow ascent itself. Ultimately, the entrance lobby embodies Wright's gift for transforming necessity into art. What might have been a simple hallway becomes a moment of transformation, an orchestrated path from darkness into light, from confinement into grandeur. The living room is its grand centerpiece, a soaring space shaped by patterned textile blocks, dramatic ceilings, and a monumental fireplace. From the moment one enters, the tension of the narrow shadowed entry gives way to openness as the room unfolds in light and volume. Wright's skill lies in shaping these contrasts: compression and release, shadow and glow, intimacy and scale. At the center of the room stands the Mayan-inspired fireplace, rising with quiet authority and anchoring the space. Above, wood beams soften the monumentality while light filters through narrow stained glass windows. Along the long colonnade connecting the main house to the master suite, the living room reflects Wright's ambition to create more than shelter, a place where space itself becomes the experience. Cinematically, the living room has proven endlessly adaptable. Its strength lies in its openness, an interior that can shift roles while retaining its presence. Ultimately, it stands as one of Wright's most compelling achievements. The dining room exemplifies Wright's ability to transform simple domestic functions into experiences of ritual and grandeur. More than a place for meals, it is a stage for geometry, light, and movement, an intimate chamber set within the monumentality of the house. The dining room merges with the living room to form one of the largest interiors he ever created for a residence. Soaring ceilings, patterned concrete walls, and the steady rhythm of block columns anchor the vast expanse. The result is a great room that is both communal and ceremonial in nature. Wright included one of his signature touches, frameless corner windows, where glass meets glass without a visible frame, opening panoramic views of the Los Angeles skyline. Light streams in and plays against the texture of the blocks, creating an ever-changing atmosphere that shifts from day to night. This interplay of shadow and illumination underscores Wright's belief that space is alive, defined as much by light as by structure. It is a place where architecture gathers people, rituals, and conversation, binding the intimate act of dining to the monumental artistry of the Ennis House. The loggia is one of its most distinctive features that links the monumental living and dining rooms to the more private parts of the home. It is both a passage and a destination, a place of movement shaped by rhythm, light, and quiet ceremony. Framed by block columns and floor-to-ceiling windows, the light enters through tall panes, washing across patterned walls and casting shifting shadows that bring the corridor to life throughout the day. Along the way, terraces, gardens, and wide views of Los Angeles appear in sequence. The loggia serves as a quiet transition between public and private life. Guest rooms and more intimate spaces branch from it, shaped by shifts in level, ceiling height, and the rhythm of doors and thresholds. More than a connector, it becomes the house's living spine, carrying its energy from room to room and revealing the quiet poetry of space with each step. The library reflects Wright's belief that every room should embody both utility and beauty. Wood and glass panels fill the spaces between columns, softening the weight of the concrete blocks with warmth and transparency. Connected to terraces and oriented toward the gardens, the library serves not only as a retreat for reading, but also as a transitional space. To sit here is to be enveloped by both architecture and landscape, an intimate counterpart to the grandeur of the house. The library reveals another facet of Wright's artistry. It is quiet, human-scaled, and personal, yet bound into the monumental whole. The bedrooms carry the same bold expression and intimacy that define the architecture throughout the house. Although the home is monumental in scale, its private rooms are designed to feel human, warm, and closely connected to daily life. At the eastern end of the house lies the master bedroom, defined by Frank Lloyd Wright's signature mitered corner windows. Natural light fills the space, softening the strong geometry of the concrete blocks. Mabel Ennis's bedroom, smaller and located closer to the living room, reflects the same care in proportion, detail, and harmony. More modest in scale, it carries the same thoughtful design, reinforcing Wright's belief that every room, regardless of size, deserves attention and purpose. Within the Ennis House, even the bathrooms reflect Frank Lloyd Wright's belief that everyday spaces should carry meaning and care. The master bathroom is the most striking of them all. Designed in a bold Art Deco style, it features deep red and black tiles set in sharp contrast. Light entering through nearby windows softens the strong lines, bringing balance and warmth to the room's powerful geometry. The kitchen offers a clear contrast to the grandeur of the great room. While the main spaces rise with height and light, the kitchen remains compact, intimate, and closely enclosed. Moving from ceremonial volumes to smaller, working spaces where daily life takes place. Even here, in one of the home's most practical rooms, architecture and living remain inseparable, and no space is treated as ordinary. Located beneath the main floor, the billiard room introduces an unexpected sense of intimacy within the house's overall monumentality. The space carries a quieter mood, shaped by low ceilings, softened light, and textured blocks that draw the room inward. Today, it remains both artifact and experience, a small refuge for play and reflection within a house defined by grand ambition. The doors and windows of the Ennis House are among its most expressive elements. marking transitions between interior and exterior, shadow and light, intimacy and scale. Frank Lloyd Wright treated them not simply as openings, but as tools of rhythm and atmosphere, woven carefully into the geometry of the textile block design. Each panel is precisely placed to work in harmony with the surrounding blocks, creating walls that seem to shift and breathe with changing light. The doors carry this same sculptural presence, from the Mayan-inspired entry gates to the full-height openings along the loggia. They reinforce the sense of passage that runs through Wright's work. Narrow vertical windows frame these moments of transition, casting long shadows that animate the interiors, while broad double doors open toward terraces and balconies, softening the boundary between house and hillside. The celebrated mitered glass windows extend this idea even further, removing the heavy corner post so that panes of glass meet cleanly at the edge. In bedrooms and living spaces, this innovation opens views in two directions, creating a feeling of suspension between stone and sky. In the Ennis House, doors and windows remind us that architecture is not only about enclosure, but also about openness, an art of thresholds that connects the home to nature, to the city, and to the life unfolding within. One of the most celebrated features of the Ennis House is its mitered glass corner window. This design dissolves the solid edges of traditional architecture, replacing weight with openness and light. From within, the view stretches across the Los Angeles basin without interruption, extending in two directions at once. The effect feels both intimate and expansive. The corner window marks a quiet yet confident step in Frank Lloyd Wright's exploration of space, showing how a simple meeting of glass can reshape the connection between home and landscape. These windows remain among the house's most enduring impressions, a view that opens outward and a reminder that architecture is not only about building walls, but about shaping how we see and live in the world beyond them. In the living and dining rooms of the Ennis House, the ceilings rise with patterned blocks, timber beams, and textured surfaces that echo the rhythm of the walls. Frank Lloyd Wright treated the ceiling as an active part of the space, not a limit, but a continuation of the architecture itself, and carefully placed light add warmth and depth, turning even the simple act of looking upward into a moment of experience and design. At the Ennis House, light becomes an essential part of Wright's artistry. For him, illumination was never merely functional. It was the soul of space, transforming walls and ceilings into living surfaces, chandeliers and wrought iron fixtures set against patterned concrete blocks bring a delicate warmth to monumental rooms, animating stone with quiet wonder. At the heart of the house, the fireplaces stand as anchors. For Wright, they were more than sources of heat, modern hearths where ancient fire meets concrete and stone. In the living room, the fireplace rises with quiet authority, grounding the space visually and symbolically. Elsewhere, in the dining room and bedrooms, smaller fireplaces carry this idea into more intimate settings. Each is integrated into the architecture, formed from the same material as the surrounding walls, dissolving the boundary between structure and ornament. The furniture reflects Wright's determination to create a complete environment where every object speaks the same architectural language as the building itself. Clean lines and careful proportions echo the rhythms of the surrounding concrete patterns. For Wright, furniture was never an afterthought, but an extension of the architecture, designed to work in harmony with the walls, floors, and ceilings. In the dining room, the grand table anchors the space, illuminated by windows that cast shifting shadows, transforming everyday gatherings into moments shaped by architecture. For Frank Lloyd Wright, ancient reliefs spoke of permanence, spirit, and a deep connection to the earth. At the Ennis House, this influence appears in the metalwork and artistic elements woven throughout the building. These details are never mere decoration. Wrought iron grills, light fixtures, and hardware echo the patterns of the concrete blocks, carrying the architecture seamlessly into metal. As light passes through these elements, the spaces take on a quiet human presence. The release feels shaped by time and by hand, not added but belonging, steady, timeless, and closely tied to the life unfolding within the house. The balconies of the Ennis House are more than extensions of its rooms. They are moments of passage where the carved geometry of the house meets the wide, open views of Los Angeles. Unlike floating terraces, these balconies rest directly on the hillside, supported by strong retaining walls that bind the building firmly to the land. Here, Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture feels both grounded and lifted at once. These balconies were never afterthoughts. They are essential to Wright's vision, places to pause, to look outward, and to sense architecture, landscape, and life coming together in a single quiet moment. At the Ennis House, the landscape becomes an extension of the architecture itself. Terraces and gardens carry the living spaces outward, gently easing the boundary between house and nature. Planters formed from the same patterned blocks as the walls hold native plants, softening the weight of the stone with living green. Water plays a quiet yet meaningful role. Shallow pools and reflective surfaces turn solid geometry into moving light, bringing calm to the monumental setting. Together, earth, stone, and water form an ongoing dialogue, one that has shifted over time, yet feels timeless. Here, the Ennis House stands not only as a home, but as a place where nature and design meet in lasting balance. The swimming pool at the Ennis House was not part of Frank Lloyd Wright's original design. It was added in 1940, when Wright was asked to adapt the house to a changing way of life. Along with the pool, a billiard room, and a modern heating system were introduced, reshaping the home to suit the social rhythms of a growing Hollywood culture. Set on a terrace along the northern facade, the pool reflects both the hillside and the architecture around it. Textile block walls rise behind the water in a steady rhythm, while views extend outward across Los Angeles. Frank Lloyd Wright believed that light was not decoration, but an essential building material. At the Ennis House, sunlight and shadow become part of the architecture itself. Narrow vertical windows shape daylight into slender beams, casting shifting patterns across the textured, concrete walls. As the day moves on, each room slowly transforms, revealing new moods shaped by time and light. These were the last art glass windows Wright designed for a residence, bringing warmth and color to the weight of stone, and reminding us that light, like architecture, is always alive.